If you don't want to talk to a person right away, you can fill out a form on there and get scheduled for a visit.
That's Talent Heating and Air. They're live, they're local. It's Talent Heating and Air.
AL certain number 21014.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal. And we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beams likes to say, there's
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Massive news from women's college basketball. USC superstar Juju Watkins, a contender for National Player of the Year, will miss the remainder of the women's NCAA tournament after suffering a torn ACL during last night's second-round win over Mississippi State, according to ESPN's Shams Charania. Watkins will undergo season-ending surgery and then begin her rehab. NBA Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla optimistic star Jason Tatum won't be out long after leaving the win over the Kings after taking a hard foul and spraining his left ankle. Sacramento center Domantas Sabonis called for a flagrant one foul on the play. Boston's essentially locked into the 2 seed in the East for the playoffs. ESPN's Jeff Borzello, Pete Thamel reporting UNLV's finalizing a deal to hire former Georgia Tech and Memphis coach Josh Pastner as its next men's basketball coach.
We aren't a winning school. We are a championship school, and we make legends. Join the Crimson Tide as they look to continue to rise to the top of the NCAA basketball mountain on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
1 month from today, Joe, the NFL draft will kick off.
That's right.
And we will see what the Tennessee Titans do with their very first pick. And I'm very much excited for it. But welcome in to the Blitz, John Abraham, Joe Hunk. You know the deal. 2 hours straight of sports talk, and we got a lot of fun things to get into today, as well as I think we're both a little bit more energized than yesterday. So we're fixing to have a pretty fun Tuesday here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as ESPN Winchester. You guys can join in on the party. 256-576-97.7 is the number to hop in, or if you're a little bit less of a talker and more of a typer, hop on over to WZZN TV where you can hop into the chat that gets bustling pretty quick with, I believe, I'm just going to guess this, it's Matthew. Yes. Good morning, Matthew.
Absolutely.
It is nice to have you in the chat.
He's ready to roll.
He's always the first one to wish us a good, happy morning, and we appreciate that, as well as everybody else who jumps in and watches the show.
It's like that girlfriend that just you wake up and you just wake up to the text message.
So
it's
you're
a comfort
comparing
thing.
You're comparing Matthew to a girlfriend right now?
It's a comfort thing, man.
Okay.
It gets your day going. You look over, you already see some comments going in the chat. you're like, you know what? It's going to be a good day.
Okay, so
It
not
is
just
going to be.
Matthew, but it's the chats in the
No,
first place.
It's a good morning, man. It's that, hey,
Okay.
look, guys, I'm ready to go. I'm here with you guys, and let's go ahead and have 2 hours of fun. That's what it's about.
Joe, you're a little sus, but either way, we do appreciate all the comments that do come in, especially from Matthew, as he's always the first one to wish us a good morning.
Yeah,
but,
where are your good mornings at, huh?
Yeah, everybody else.
Yeah.
How about we get 5 good mornings before the show starts? We just talk about people giving us good mornings until it happens.
Yeah, we're not the only ones in here that's want to make your day a little bit better, huh? How about you get it to us? It's give and take on this world.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll give them something even better,
That's the way
Joe.
relationships shouldn't work. It shouldn't just be one way.
Well, most people are listening to us on
That
their
is
radio
true.
devices.
That is
All
true.
right. So they're not going to be able to quickly hop over to WZZN TV on YouTube, subscribe, as well as press on that notification
phone
bell
lines.
and comment. But we do have the phone lines. We also have zone deals. So, if you're thinking, we're just doing a show. No, we also give you guys 50% off of some of the best places in all of Huntsville, all of North Alabama. Screw it. Whether you like a Mexican food, whether you like Bad Daddy's Burgers, we got it all. Just head on over to 97.7 ESPN.com and click on the big zone deals. We're getting even further through the brackets. Sweet 16 coming around the corner. You're going to be able to listen to it on our network, also possibly on ESPN Winchester, which hello to you guys. You're also invited to join in to the show. But we do want to talk a lot about what we saw yesterday in Miami. Cam Ward, the possible first pick in the NFL draft. He finally showed us his pre-NFL arm. I feel like the next time we see him, he will be in an NFL uniform or up on that stage in April, starting on the 25th, which you could also hear on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Yeah, no, his seat isn't even going to be hot. I mean, it's just his seat isn't even going to be warm from him sitting down in it in the green room. Matter of fact, if I'm him, I mean, the only reason I'm sitting there is just so ESPN and NFL Network can get me that shot of me sitting and just going, all right, he's there, he's waiting, girlfriend, wife. I'm not sure of his marital situation, but whoever's sitting beside him, got his mom, got his dad, whatever. And just go ahead and plans like, all right, well, guys, look, we're not going to be here much longer. Like, this is all it's going to be is the moment that he says it, that, Tennessee Titans are on the clock. Doesn't matter if it's the Titans, doesn't matter if they trade away, doesn't matter what it is. Let's just go ahead and say that we're just only going to be here for maybe 15 minutes.
Hell, I wouldn't even head up to Green Bay. I would just stay down in Florida and stay warm because he's not going to – I mean, it's a longer
cocky.
It's a longer drive to come from Wisconsin to Tennessee than to Miami to Tennessee.
Well, it's not like he's actually driving. But no, it is no. This what I do. If you want to be really cocky, which based on yesterday, he's really confident.
Why wouldn't you be though?
No,
you got guys telling you straight up, we're here with the first pick in the NFL draft.
No,
I mean, that's just
that.
Geez.
It was the fact that he goes over right after he makes a throw and he looks over at the Titans GM and he's like, "Sup?
Why not me?"
Yeah, like all right. He basically did the Vince Carter. Over. It's over. I'm the number one pick. I'm here. Might as well just hand me the hat now.
So
just go ahead and give it to me. So if you're really cocky, you go ahead and you just go ahead and have your NFL draft party in Nashville.
Look, I'll give it to Cam. He looks like the perfect quarterback to go number one. He has the abilities that you love to see out of a quarterback, especially in 2025, where he has the passing ability. He's comfortable in the pocket, unlike Jalen Milroe, which is why we don't think he's going first round. And on top of that, he can run the ball. And it's not one of those things where he needs to run the ball right out the gates. He will sit in the pocket for a little bit, and then if he needs to, he'll use those abilities. But we didn't see him do a 40-yard dash, I don't believe, yesterday. We saw him pass the ball yesterday. And you know what? He did a really good job. I do think he's got a problem at times to underthrow the ball. But outside of that, he can throw on the run. He can throw the intermediate passes. But when it comes to him playing in the NFL, Joe, playing against the defensive line, not in the ACC, but in the NFL, these guys are going to be 10 times better. Do you think he's going to stay as comfortable as we saw in Miami?
Let me emphasize the reason why I am so critical of players is because once you get to the NFL, that window is a half the size of what it is in the NFL, if not 3-4 smaller than what it is. It doesn't matter what I'm talking about. The running lanes, wide receiver lanes, everything it is compared to college. Yeah. And so this is a thought process a lot of times as well with players and I'm saying this in a way of saying not just high school, but little league, college, whatever it is you're not playing the teams in front of you. You are preparing to play the teams in the future. So don't play it. Obviously, you want to know that you have that window of leeway. Oh, I want to get 2 feet down in the end zone, but I know in college, high school, I just need to get one. It's that sort of thing. But what you practice and what you focus on is getting the 2 feet down. With Cam, there was a couple of passes that if you want to be critical of it, I want to see him throw the out route a little bit more. I think that was something that he did struggle with yesterday. He underthrew his receiver one time, and then the next time that he threw to him, he actually threw behind him a little bit more than what he needed to.
He was slowing him down a little bit.
He was, but it was like a 5-yard out route, and what you were doing is you were seeing it where he was throwing it where the receiver had to turn around and he was taking it kind of like on the right pec.
Yeah.
And instead, with those out routes, the right pec is where there's going to be a defender.
Exactly.
So you're going to want to get it out, not just on the left pec, but you want to get it out where his arm is extended, where he makes the catch, get 2 feet down, and then we'll go out of bounds. Like those things are being very picky. There was a fade route that he was going on to his left side. Whenever he rolled out to it, he had his wide receiver do a double, probably may have been even a triple move, which is not going to happen in the NFL. And he have time to make the throw. He kind of buys a little bit of time rolling out to his left, and then he throws it and drops it in the bucket to him. He threw it just a little bit too far on that. Now, again, it's Miami versus an NFL wide receiver. I don't think that he's going to throw it underneath Calvin or over Calvin Ridley's head. It's just my thought.
Well, you are talking about a guy like Restrepo who was out there. But again, Cam Ward was comfortable with all season long. And remember, there was only one season with these Miami wide receivers because prior to that, he was at Washington State.
And the reason I am critical of these things is because this is very, very scripted. I'm talking about everything down to the Philly special play that he ran at the very end.
I would say scripted, Joe, but I would mainly say comfortable. This is playing to a Cam Ward to make him look like he's the best of the best.
No, what I'm saying is they chose the 20 plays or some odd plays, and they have practiced these things numerously. There's a reason why he didn't go and work out in the NFL Combine. It's because of this. So there are some things with it as far as critical is concerned. The two things, though, I absolutely do love about him, and some people may not. I love the confidence. I love the energy. And I love the fact that the man is so confident in himself that he made a play and he genuinely looked at the Titans staff and said, here I am. Dude, that takes guts.
Yeah.
And not only that is you then have to turn around and you're going to have to back it up. So I'm not saying he's going to be the day one starter for the Titans. I genuinely don't. But what I am saying is that he has created separation for himself between the rest of the pack and now. That's what I'm saying. Because I'm not saying he's the best player in the draft. I'm not saying that he is the top player that the Titans should take. I'm not saying any bit of that. But as far as the way this path and this road is looking, the way that we're traveling down it right now, it is literally Cam Ward, or you better give me a draft offer that is better than him. That's what it should be. Because I think it's do I use a pick on an Abdul Carter? Do I use that pick on a Travis Hunter? Are they worthy of the status of number one where they can change my team the way in which Cam can? Because let's not act like it is. Getting a cornerback, which is what I'm going to say Travis Hunter is, getting a cornerback as the first overall pick is not going to make you a playoff team. Getting a franchise quarterback will 100% make you a playoff team. Getting a franchise cornerback, a franchise defensive end, will not.
Yeah, but are the Titans ready for this? I mean, this is talking about if the offensive line, because we don't want to see it go like how the Bears went, last year, and it obviously went to the whole extent of getting their coach fired and everything else. But I mean, you could possibly see a little bit of a trade to maybe the New York Giants, and then you just grab Will Campbell. I mean, wouldn't that be something that could work for the Titans in the long run?
I think that the Will Campbell train has left the tracks or left the station.
Okay.
The only reason is because of how the Titans have been in free agency. I think free agency told us and showed us their hand.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting
Now,
veterans, but I don't know if that is exactly what the Titans need. They're getting bodies, I would say, on the line, but nobody that's going to really, I would say, protect the quarterback for the long run.
Well, and I think that the part with this is you did not see them go out and waste millions and millions of dollars on a quarterback.
You're right.
You didn't. I mean, they did it. I mean, it was a Brandon Allen, which honestly, right now, if you could have probably quizzed 20 of our listeners, and I would almost bet that all 20 of them would not know where he was last season.
I already forgot it.
See, again, that's what I'm saying. So you could tell that way. They did go get starting offensive linemen. They did go get a starting left tackle, which in Dan Moore Jr., which is a 100% boom or bust, because the thought process is that we are grading him based on the defensive ends that he went up against, like a Myles Garrett, who is arguably one of the best pass rushers in the NFL in 2024 and 2025.
Top three.
Yeah, so that's where the argument lies. A TJ Watt, like those types of players is who he went up against. And yeah, you're going to give up sacks to those guys. And the other guys, you take those two out, you're not going to be seeing those guys every single Sunday.
Yeah.
And then you also had the ability to see, not just because J.C. Latham played well at left tackle last year, but now you can move him over to right tackle where he was playing the 3 previous seasons, and he's even more comfortable than what he was at left tackle, which he was comfortable there. Now you've solidified the edges, which was a massive problem for this team.
Yeah.
You add in the guard play, and now you start to go, okay, this team could at least have the pieces on the offensive line. The wide receivers, the Van Jefferson one is more of an emotional one to me. He is like a poor man's T. Higgins. Because Titans wanted T. Higgins. Titans have wanted T. Higgins for the last 2 or 3 seasons.
It's actually kind of spot on.
And what it is not just the fact that he's like roughly a number 2 or a number 3, but it's also because he's a Nashville kid. He grew up there. He played ball there. And it was exactly the same thing with T. Higgins. He's a Tennessee guy. He wanted to come back to Tennessee. He had mentioned that numerous times, but you're also not going to say no when a team offers you the money that they did. This is basically Van Jefferson was the backup. Traylon Burks, God help us if that man can ever actually get healthy. I mean, it's the problem. I don't put any stock in Traylon Burks. I know Calvin Ridley is healthy.
Tyler Boyd's still there?
Tyler Boyd, I believe, is a free agent.
Man, what happened? I mean,
no, he's great. He's a great wide receiver. No, he's a great wide receiver.
Yeah, but
he's a great number 2 or number 3.
He was always number 3 because T. Higgins was the number 2 in the Bengals. And whenever T. Higgins was number 1, that was whenever, of course, Chase wasn't even there.
The other part about it with Boyd is he's a slot guy.
Yeah.
So he's never expected to be that guy on the outside of the numbers that's going to be able to get the deep balls, go for the deep post routes, go for the fades, that sort of guy. He's going to be the guy that you're throwing it to in a drag route under the middle, and he's going to be trying to break it that way. Those are the types of guys that he's going to be playing as. So it's a different type of back.
Gotcha.
And a different type of wide receiver.
So would you say with the Titans, they're kind of like with their offensive linemen, all right? They're getting a bunch of them, but would you say they're similar to Stan Smith in a shelf in the woods saying, hey, we might not have anything, but we do have a shelf, and that's pretty luxurious. Do you think that is a good comparison for the Tennessee Titans offensive line right now?
Okay, say it once again, because when you said Stan Smith, I immediately started going American Dad on
it.
This,
It is American
Dad. Absolutely. So say it one more time.
He puts up a shelf in the woods, and that's all they got.
Yeah.
And he says we might not need to use it, but we have a shelf. That's what I call luxury.
I think that with these offensive linemen, it is we are getting players that are the best available within our budget.
Gotcha.
And we are hoping that they are going to perform underneath arguably the greatest offensive line coach in NFL history, I mean, there was a nickname that we have for him in Nashville that we call him offensive line Jesus. Like that man he literally created a device for offensive linemen to learn how to block better. Like there is a device that he has patented and that he uses, and that if anybody else wants to use it, he has to okay it and gets the rights for them to use it. Like it's a device. It's amazing.
Gotcha.
But the thought is that he's going to be able to get the best out of these players. There's a reason why they didn't want MPF back on this team. And as far as being a starter, trust me, there is a massive reason. It's not my story to tell, but I know the reason why.
Yeah.
And let's just say it is a very good reason.
Maybe some of the Titans reporters might throw
a
little bit more hints at us.
They may, because a lot of it is a lot of behind the scenes stuff and more of a pay attention to him on the sidelines than on the field type sort of thing.
Gotcha.
It has nothing to do with the gambling or anything like that. Those are the types of things where you want to solidify the offensive line, because Cam Ward and or Will Levis, you have no clue at what your receivers are in this offense is. You know what Tony Pollard is. He was 1,000-yard back last year. You still have Tajay Spears behind him. And that's why I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, as a backfield standpoint, and if Chig can continue the growth that Chig is growing with, Josh Wiley continuing that growth, obviously they're not your tier 1 tight ends, but you have a better offense. The defense in this is where kind of the question is going to lie, because what are you going to be doing? You've added Cody Barton, you've added Draymond Jones, like you've added those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of question marks. There's Xavier Woods. You added him from Carolina. You added Lorenzo Carter, which is right now a backup guy. Okay. You've added pieces to be better.
There's a few questions that we're going to have to get into throughout the week on this Titans team to see exactly what they're going to do with this draft, as well as not just the first pick, because we're almost certain we know what's going to happen. It's the other picks to kind of pick up the pieces. But regardless of that, Joe, we got a lot of conversation left without the show. 256-576-9777, because the listeners are also able to join in on that. And always remember that the show is presented by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up. We got to hit a break. When we get back, continuing on with a little bit of the draft conversation, as well as possibly hopping into what Stephen A. Smith had to say. And then, Joe, what were you about to throw out?
No. The thing about Cam Ward, and in answering that and going into the draft with this, is he the right pick? Not the pick that we think that they're going to make. Is he the right pick that the Titans need to make at the number 1 overall spot?
Is it worth continuing with Will Levis?
Like, is this the right decision? Like right now, after yesterday, and basically Cam Ward walking over to the Titans and being like, "Are you not entertained?" Yeah. I mean, that's what he did. Is this now the right decision for Tennessee to make at the number 1 overall spot?
256-576-9777 is the number to get on the Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and ESPN Winchester.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
The Drive.
Both those guys have done a good job in what we've asked them to do, and both of them have developed nicely, and both of them have consistently made plays.
Wes and Steve.
Their decision-making, their judgment, their ability not to force things and take what the defense gives and distribute the ball with good decision-making, down in, down out, is probably the only thing that's going to be any different about them, because it's not physical ability or talent. So it's intangibles, leadership, decision-making, judgment, and all those types of things. And, both guys have done a good job in that regard as well.
Listen to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton each weekday afternoon starting at 5. We are your home of ESPN Radio, 97.7 The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A fantastic Tuesday afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Temperatures have no problems, climbing into the mid-70s under a mostly sunny sky. We only drop into the low and mid-40s as we head into the overnight early into your Wednesday morning. Going to be a really nice Wednesday. Temperatures climbing into the lower 70s once again under a mostly sunny sky, and then once again dropping into the mid-40s as we head into the overnight. A little more cloud cover for your Thursday, but overall another fantastic afternoon. Once again, temperatures climbing into the 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve. And we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
This process is all about talking ball.
Listen to Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond.
What did they want privacy for? To just start talking ball.
Every weekday morning, wake up with Scott and Drew. It's Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hello and welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, who's not sitting in his seat. He's standing up drinking some water while rocking a really cool Huntsville Havoc hat. And Joe, this isn't a segue to talk Havoc. We'll have plenty of time tonight during the Havoc Hour live from the Huntsville Iceplex and Zambrowski's. As we're still waiting on this, who's going to be joining us.
Oh no, we're always waiting on that. That's always going to be something that we're going to find out. Most likely, normally after Tom's show. Sorry, I forgot his name. He hasn't been here so long. And so that's kind of where we're at with that. Normally, it happens after morning skate with those, because we try to see who and what we may be going with.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of the Havoc, want to wish Big Fish, nobody else calls him that, but I am, Robbie Fisher. Today is his birthday today, so happy birthday to him.
How old is he? How old is the big boy, the Big Fish?
I don't know. Based on the picture on the Havoc X feed, though, he's missing that front tooth still. So I mean, he's got to be at least 9 or 10. That's when you lose that thing, right?
Let me see.
Hockey players don't lose their teeth other than like normal people, right? Like that's not really a thing, is it?
No, they lose all their teeth.
No, they lose all their teeth all the time.
He is actually 32. turning 30. No, yeah, I think he's just 32, 33.
Wasn't
maybe.
it Fish that was in the ring?
Oh, he's 33 today. He's 33. Happy birthday.
Was it? Yeah, about to say, wasn't Fish in the ring? Yeah, because it wasn't Fries that got into the ring. It was Fish that got into the ring. Him and D Stew before the Havoc game on Saturday night. He and D Stew got in and had a wrestling match.
No doubt.
On the New South ring.
Yeah.
So
that looked like a lot of fun, Joe. Did you have fun there?
I didn't, because I actually didn't get there until after it was already over.
Okay. All right.
No, I even walked up because I have a friend of mine that actually is one of the guys that does a lot with New South, and I just rolled up to him and gave him nugs because I was heading down to the ice, and I just looked over and I said, "Bro, my baseball game did not end until 5:30 when you guys got all this stuff going on." So they were tearing down the ring whenever I was able to show up on there. But
the chat says it was awesome.
Yeah,
so,
it looked
that's
awesome.
All that matters, really.
But the Havoc Hour is tonight, 6:00, Zambrewski's Tavern. It's going to be one that I don't know what to expect, just to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, because we don't have the guys. We got to wait for the
No,
Todd
I'm talking about the mood of the players.
Well, that, and we got to wait until after or around the Todd Abraham show where he's going to learn about who all's
Do
coming.
you have a brother named Todd?
No.
Okay, I was just curious.
No, that is lame. No, you know what? To all the Todds out there, I'm already sorry.
Yeah, now I'm just letting you dig that hole yourself.
Todd Abraham.
Yeah, no, it was. Look, it was. No, I say it this way because I don't know how everybody's going to be, obviously, with the way that last weekend happened, and I know that one thing that Coach has talked to Steve about, and we've heard a little bit more about, is like, look, we understand how frustrated everybody was. Obviously, we were frustrated with it, but at the same time, you could kind of look at the difference in the two rosters, and one of them looks like they're finalized, one of them doesn't.
Yeah.
And so that'll be their story to tell tonight, as part of everything as we're getting going. Because look, today's Tuesday. There's a game on Thursday night, and that's against Pelham. And they are going to be coming up, whatever, from Pelham, because they have to drive through Birmingham to get here. And they are going to get into a situation where now you have Pelham, and then you have 2 games against the team that you're most likely going to be playing in the first round.
Yeah.
So now this weekend's going to be a little bit different, because not only it's not so much about first place anymore. Now, if Peoria somehow, I don't know, has to forfeit the remainder of their games, then you can talk about potentially getting back into first place. Yeah. But now you're fighting to make sure that you're not in third place.
No doubt.
And you're trying to keep it against a Roanoke team who's lost 3 straight.
Yeah. And if you want to join in on more of the Havoc conversation, again, the Havoc Hour starting at 6 tonight, you can either watch on WZZN TV, where it is exclusive to that channel, or you can show up at the Huntsville Iceplex. But Joe, I know the Havoc are probably feeling a little bit down, but I know that the Alabama women's basketball team probably feeling a little bit more gray, as they led last night's matchup on 97-7 against Maryland, the number 4 seed, playing the number 5 seed Alabama. And then Maryland, of course, got the dub in double overtime. And this comes with Sarah Ashley Barker getting 45 points, just absolutely doing an amazing job to keep this Alabama team in the game, just to find themselves losing in the second round of the women's tournament, which is very upsetting to me. I wanted to throw that out there because it also transitions to the Alabama baseball that we're going to have
tonight
here in Huntsville, or Madison. Sorry, Madison. It's going to be at the Toyota Field, and they're going to be facing off against the Lions. And Joe, this is an awesome opportunity for fans to kind of switch gears from the basketball, even though we're not fully out of it yet because Alabama still has a team in the game. But to switch gears and kind of get acquainted with this baseball team. Maybe not Rob Vaughn because he got suspended for a few games.
No, actually, you kind of like him a little bit more because of why he got suspended.
Yeah, but you're not going to see him unless he's in the crowd. I mean, unless he's chilling out.
Oh, dude, I would totally just be hanging out with the crowd. You know where I would be, actually? I would definitely probably be somewhere where a lot of the fans can just come up and just hang out with me.
I'd be in the sports med suite.
That's where, no, I wouldn't be in a suite. I would be like down by the right field line, like those sort of places. Like I want to be somewhere where we can all just hang out. I get tons of pictures with it. every bit of that. That is where I would be.
Well, he's definitely going to have a popular presence if he does end up in Toyota Field. But I don't think I think he'd probably be somewhere.
Somewhere,
And
I know that
I don't know where he's going to be. Where do coaches go when they're suspended? I don't even know if he's allowed in Toyota Field.
He'll probably, in all reality, if he's not at the field somewhere like a suite or something, he'll probably be back at the hotel watching the game.
That sounds so sad.
No, it is sad. But
I'll hit him up. He's also fined $25,000.
Hey, coach, if you don't have anything else to do, we've got a couple TVs down at Zimbrewski's. Like you could just come and we'll have the show up on one, and what we'll do is we'll just put the Bama game up on the other, and you can just watch it there.
You think he's a hockey guy?
Based on the way that he got after that umpire, absolutely. He is a hockey guy. And look, there's another thing that I saw I got questioned about, and I'm not 100% sure which game this was for Alabama and Tennessee, but it was a situation where Alabama had runners on first and second base. It's the 8th inning, and I want to say they were down by a run, and their best hitter was up. And so it was one in which you're looking at this and you're thinking to yourself, okay, he gets a base hit, we can possibly tie the game or something along those lines. What ends up happening is you get a double steal and you get thrown out at second base. People are upset about the double steal. I understand being upset about the double steal. The problem with it was, if you get a base hit in that scenario, you are not promised that you're going to get both runs in with 2 outs. Let me emphasize that. Now, you still had to go into the 9th inning. I get it. But the other thing was, and this is where you just have to compliment Tennessee on it, and I know that this is going to piss you off, but I know that you just need to compliment Tennessee. Because normally in a double steal situation, the catcher is going to focus on the runner going to third. That's what you were hoping for. Instead, runner going to second became what the catcher was focused on, and he fired it down to second base and got the out. That's not what you were thinking was going to happen. You thought his attention would be at third. He would try to throw it to third, and he would try to get the guy out. Instead, he goes to the secondary runner, which is really just the tail. That's just the extra guy.
Yeah.
The focus is supposed to be on the guy running from second to third. That was just a great play.
Very heads up play.
No, it was. And yes, does it suck? Absolutely. You tried something in the 8th inning and it didn't work out. You also tried something in the 8th inning of a baseball game in March.
That was the 3rd inning, but same thing.
I thought it was already in the 8th inning.
No,
this is
early in the game.
See, I thought it was in the 8th.
It went down.
I need to find the video game because I could have swore I saw that was in the 8th.
I think it was the top of the 3rd, and Alabama was down 2-0 at the time.
I mean, the whole idea was you were focused on the secondary runner when honestly most people thought that you were going to be focused on the primary runner.
Yeah.
That's where this all comes from. It was a great baseball play by Tennessee that got a guy thrown out that you didn't think was going to be the focal point of it, and you end up losing the game. That's just baseball, but it's also March.
Yeah.
And you try these things in March. Like we talk about the UH baseball team, and I know these guys are listening, and I know they're watching right now. And because they told me on Saturday that they listen and watch, you can look at this lineup that this team has put out. We are probably, I think they're back to 500 now, so it's 28 games. We're 28 games into the season for UAH. I honestly want to say that they've probably had 20 different lineups, maybe through 28 games. I joked with Presley Walker before the game, like, did you tell coach that you just want to try playing every single position this year? Like, is that what you want to do? Like, do you just want to do the Will Ferrell through it? Like, I looked at Will Knowles, same thing. Like, are you guys just trying to play every single position? Because one game you're in right, one game you're in center, one game you're in left, one game you're at third, one game you're at short. Like, he's not short because Hugh Wendell's been at short the whole time, and dude's starting to show out. But you're be first base. Like, do you know how to catch? Like, how's it is? You are finding every bit of this out because this is before that in May June, that's when this matters.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what it's about.
256-576-97.7 is the number to get in as we preview a little bit of Alabama's matchup in Madison at Toyota Field. You're going to be able to listen to that on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Of course, the Havoc Hour tonight, as well as Tom Abraham live from Baumhauer's. Baumhauer's, but we also got the Zone deals popping off right now for Blue Oak Barbecue. I mean, geez.
I'm telling you, a guy at UAH, Tanner, he's one of the SIDs for basketball, baseball. I want to say he's like an SID for half the sports there.
Gotcha.
He told me if you go to Blue Oak, you have got to get the appetizer nachos. Trust me, they're not an appetizer. You will take some home, and they are absolutely amazing. This appetizer has tomatoes. It has there's some like pico de gallo on there. There's some peppers and all that sort of stuff on there. I don't like any of that. I ate every single bit of it. It took me 3 days, but I ate every single bit of it.
Yeah, it's almost like that biscuit that you left right next to me.
Dude, that wasn't my fault. It was because I kept getting asked stuff to do. And it got cold.
It's a small biscuit you got from what is it, Whataburger?
It was Whataburger biscuit.
It was a Whata biscuit.
Like it was, I'm not kidding. Every single time I went to try to eat the biscuit, something happened. I was going to eat it on the drive in. My wife calls me. I was going to eat it once I got here. And then we started prepping and talking and doing other things. I started going in and I was going to eat it out in between shows.
Yeah.
Then Moulton walked in with his Happy Meals. And I was loving that.
Oh, those were nice.
Absolutely.
You got a toy?
Yes. Oh, no. Trust me. My son was already playing with the basketball this morning.
I was playing with it yesterday.
So it was like every single thing just kept getting in the way of me trying to eat this biscuit. So I ended up not eating it until lunchtime. You really just trying to show off the basketball goal on the Zone TV, aren't you?
I made it a few times.
Yeah. You're trying to do that right now. WZZN TV is where you need to go. But like those were things that I couldn't expect. Okay. I didn't understand it. But yes, just like the biscuit, you can go there. There's a few places that we're going to be throughout the day.
Yeah.
Matthew also hopped in because we kind of joked about him being the first one in the chat. No, this is a compliment, by the way, Matthew. This is not a diss at all. He goes, I'm not the stalker girlfriend. He goes, I'm usually up at between 6 and 6:30 for car line duties. My youngest has car line at 9. No, we love the fact that you do this.
We appreciate
it's an absolute thing. Trust me, the car line duties. It's a deal, man.
And now we know what he's doing at 9. He always knew what we were doing at 9.
Yeah,
now we know what he's up to.
Again, this is how the relationship's being built. This is exactly how it is. So that part of him coming in and saying good morning, bro, I want there to be 15 more guys that hop in and say good morning.
That hypes him.
It's a nice thing.
It gets us hyped.
He also says he could see Travis Hunter at number 1. Some utility players, and then Cam and Jackson Dart going first round. I think New Orleans will take Dart.
Here's the thing. Combined with the offense and defense skill set that Travis Hunter has, yes, I think there's no doubt he should be number 1. But how long is he going to keep that up? Because I don't think he would be a top 5 pick if he was just the wide receiver or if he was just the cornerback. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. I could see him being the 9th pick in the draft if he's just the wide receiver. I could see him being the second round, 3rd pick in the NFL draft if he was just a cornerback. That's how I look at it. He's got a great ability to jump and snag some balls and change his abilities, change his arms and his motion and which way he's going. But when it comes down to it, single it out, he's a good wide receiver. I think, he's a great wide receiver. He's a good cornerback. Though, I don't know.
There's a couple of things I'm curious about with Travis Hunter. Yeah. First off, when he is meeting with teams, because they obviously, even though these guys were not on the field practicing, they were absolutely doing the car wash of football teams and meeting with all these teams and getting put up on the board and everything. I'm genuinely curious of 2 things. One, how many times he was asked the question, are you dead set on trying to play both wide receiver and cornerback in the NFL? And 2, what his answer was. And the only reason I say that is because I think that determination is going to possibly make or break the way that teams see him and where they would want to draft him. Because if he is just going to be going in, and this has been the scouting report on him since the very second that he walked off the field at Arrowhead against Kansas. This man is a NFL cornerback today. He can also play wide receiver, and you could utilize him as a Swiss Army knife. Not saying that he's not an NFL wide receiver. You just know that he is an NFL cornerback. So if he's dead set on that, and I'm a team that is needing a wide receiver, would I choose Travis Hunter over XYZ because I need a wide receiver? I'm not needing the cornerback right now. But you are at the level where you're seen at being on the field. If I'm going to get you on the field, you're going to go on the field at the cornerback position. I may not need a cornerback, but I may need a wide receiver, and you may not be to the level of the wide receiver. So yes, he does have the ability to be that. But as far as the team is concerned, the Browns, the Patriots, the Giants, the Raiders, all of those teams, do you use the draft pick on the guy because you know he could possibly be a wide receiver? Is he going to be a game-changing wide receiver in the NFL? Is he a Randy Moss? Is he a Tyreek Hill? Is he Jerry Rice? Like, you're talking about those types of players. That's what you're looking for in the top 3 if you're looking for a wide receiver. Cornerback-wise, sweet. Let's go with it. Top 5, top 6. Then I'm drafting him as a cornerback. And if he can do the other stuff, great.
At that point, though, I'd just go Will Johnson if I'm going just cornerback. But you always have the idea of him possibly doing the wide receiver job as well.
Look, and if he wants to be one of those guys that you can see like a Cordero Patterson, you can see a Deebo Samuel, where it's like, hey, look, I can play cornerback, but you can also put me a running back. You can put me a wide receiver. You can put me outside the number. You can put me inside the number. You can put me inside the slot. You can put me outside the slot. Cool. Whatever it is. If you want to be that guy and you think that you can put him in that offense, sweet. But right now, the thought is day one, if you're sending out your defense on the field, he's going to be a part of it. Not 100% sure that unless and depending on the package that you're starting the game with, he's stepping on the field day one on the offense.
He's got to gain a lot of weight. He's got to get a lot of strength.
And that comes with the slot position, though.
If he's going to try and play both the positions, because I could see him just getting through a rookie contract in the NFL, and that's it. If he's going both sides. Just saying, he's going to get beat up. You've seen it plenty of times before, but we want to know your opinions. We also want to know a little bit more about what Stephen A. Smith had to say about the college football bracket. Joe, I know we could talk constantly, but we got to pay these bills.
We do. And when we come back, I'll tell you the biggest issue that I have with him trying to play both ways so early in this, which is the reason why I would not see him as a possibly the number 1 overall pick. And if the Titans should go with him, we'll continue. We come back, your phone lines or your phone calls on our phone lines, 256-576-4977. This is the Blitz, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMM.com.
Auburn Tigers bet up from a 7.5 point to an 8.5 point favorite over Michigan in the South Region semifinals at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia on Friday. 152.5 the total. The winner gets either Michigan State or Ole Miss. Spartans a 2.5 point favorite over the Rebels. Alabama 5.5 point favorite over BYU on Thursday at Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. 175.5 the total. In the other East Region semifinal, Duke laying 8.5 against Arizona. UAB tomorrow, the NIT quarterfinals, a 5.5 point underdog at UC Irvine, 159.5 the total. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary, but it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and I'm here to tell you it's truck month. No payments for 90 days on 24 and 25 models of F-150, Ranger, Maverick, Super Duty, and Lightning. We've got over 220 F-150s for you to choose from with generous finance rates and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 48 years in a row. Great deals on Bronco, Bronco Sport, Expedition, and Explorer 2. Come check those out. But right now at Woody Anderson Ford, you can drive a 2024 F-150 XLT Hybrid for as little as $339 a month. $339 for an F-150. That's a 36-month lease with $64.48 due at signing, zero security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. This offer ends $331.25. Call us at 539-9441 for complete details. Over 220 F-150s and nearly 50 Rangers and Maverick pickups to choose from, all with great sales incentives and zero payments for 90 days. Woody Anderson Ford, we hope to see you soon.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Have you discovered Good Company Cafe? The place for breakfast, brunch, lunch, and so much more. Enjoy brunch all day and pair with one of our many seasonal refreshing drinks, including alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. Choose inside or outside on our gorgeous, spacious, dog-friendly patio and have some fun with friends playing yard games in the courtyard. See catering, to-go options, and lots more at goodcompany-cafe.com. Good Company Cafe, 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Not a bad night. Really not going to be all that chilly across the area. When you head out the door for work on Wednesday morning, you're going to find temperatures in the mid and upper 40s. From there, we do a really good job of warming up through the course of the afternoon. A mostly sunny sky, temperatures climbing into the low 70s. Once again, dropping into the mid and upper 40s. Plenty of sunshine Thursday afternoon. Maybe a slight increase in the amount of cloud cover, but otherwise, once again, temperatures climbing into the low and mid 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Basketball was originated in America in 1891.
Filling out and busting brackets since the 1970s.
Let this be a reminder to you all that this organization will not tolerate failure.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hello and welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, closing out this first hour as we continue on our conversation about Travis Hunter and the NFL and the draft and Cam Ward and whether or not the Titans really think he is the one, which is kind of telling
After
them
yesterday,
play this hand. That's exactly what the Titans are saying, and everybody else saying that he pretty much is locked in for that number one pick. But we'll get some more answers throughout the week. Also, if you guys like golf and you want to get a part of a golf competition we got going on, a charity golf competition, you guys can call in 256-576-9777, and you can sign up for the WZZN charity golf tournament that is coming up April 21st. If you want to be an individual playing with us, or if you want a 4-man team, it's going to be a fun night out or a fun day out at Cherokee Ridge Country Club. I know John's having a wonderful time over there right now, Joe. But Travis Hunter.
Yes.
You wanted to talk more about him, Joe.
Okay, we've only got 2 minutes. Okay, so no.
You got 2 minutes worth of Travis Hunter.
No. I'm going to start that at the top of the hour.
I said I was going to start my conversation.
I know, I'll just say it really quick after this. Here's the thing. John, how old are you?
I'm 24.
You're 24.
I'm going to be 25 come the golf tournament thingy that we got going on.
Okay.
April 20th. 420, baby.
Which I may or may not be there depending on baby status. Just now on social media, it became official that Napster.
I remember Napster. I didn't use it myself, but I know Napster.
See, I did use.
I
Napster.
don't doubt it, you little,
Napster.
little dude.
Oh no, trust me. If look, I'm all about if I can get something for free and it's the same quality as what I have to pay for it. Trust me, I'm going to do it. Just Joe, talk about television service.
I went LimeWire, if anything.
I went LimeWire after Napster because Napster got shut down.
Yeah,
it has not been active for 24 years.
Don't tell me there was a tweet that just came out.
It just got purchased. And everybody is trying to figure out why.
Who purchased it?
Did it just get purchased? It shut down in 2001. And it was the 3D technology company Infinity Realty for $207 million.
It's still worth that much? It hasn't even been around.
Somebody just bought Napster for $207 million.
Joe, now I need to go and see if I can buy MySpace.
It is no, MySpace is still active. So it was, it's more of a music platform now. Like a lot of people started kind of using it as that.
Okay.
So Napster launched in 1999, and trust me, I took advantage of this. I mean, you would have to download like 5 versions of the song just to find the one that was probably really good.
Yeah. You want one of the Beastie Boys songs, you get something from JT and the Tennessee Kids.
Yeah, exactly. And it would be like something like intergalactic, another dimension. That's what it says. So it says that since 2016, Napster has been a music streaming service offering on-demand streaming of licensed tracks and all that sort of stuff for about $11 per month. It's a small player, kind of like, it's almost like a Spotify and Apple.
Or like a Milk Music. Y'all remember that one?
Yeah. Napster just got bought for $207 million.
They were utilizing it just a few years ago, Joe.
What in heaven's name? $207 million for Napster.
People love nostalgia, Joseph.
They literally just bought a logo.
That's yes.
It's a $207 million logo.
Apparently, they've been making some money since 2016.
Yeah, I mean, they've been
$11 subscriptions.
It's kind of like it's like a poor man's Spotify right now.
Well, that's Google Play Music
and Apple Play.
Well,
if hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 22 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Are you trying to find a new house? Are you trying to find the right loan, the right people to do your loan? Look no further than the Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green. John Kendall, the Vice President of Mortgage with me. John, when they need a loan, and I say they, when people need a loan, it's about them.
That's right, Scott. Our whole motto is it's all about you. We're going to be okay. You're the one making the investment. We want to make sure that you're taken care of.
How do they find you?
Give us a call at 256-507-9180, or they can catch us online at bankofFrankEwing.com.
It's Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green, where they take the home loan to you and they make it all about you. Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green is an FDI insured bank as well as an equal housing lender.
NMLS number 446707.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. March Madness is here, and it's time to hoop it up at Baumhauer's Victory Grill with our Slam Dunk specials. It's nothing but net with a pound of our world-famous wings. Tip it off with our party-ready trays, including traditional wings, buttermilk fried chicken tenders, and hot lips, to name a few. Want a cold beer with those wings? How about $7.99 pitchers of Yingling served all day, 7 days a week? Break out those brackets and bring the gang to the best watch party place in town, Baumhauer's Victory Grill, the true king of wings.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living then has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
This is Brent Musburger's VSIN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMM.com.
Auburn Tigers bet up from a 7.5 point to an 8.5 point favorite over Michigan in the South Region semifinals at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia on Friday. 152.5 the total. The winner gets either Michigan State or Ole Miss. Spartans a 2.5 point favorite over the Rebels. Alabama 5.5 point favorite over BYU on Thursday at Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. 175.5 the total. In the other East Region semifinal, Duke laying 8.5 against Arizona. UAB tomorrow, the NIT quarterfinals, a 5.5 point underdog at UC Irvine, 159.5 the total. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A fantastic Tuesday afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Temperatures have no problems, climbing into the mid-70s under a mostly sunny sky. We only drop into the low and mid-40s as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning. Going to be a really nice Wednesday. Temperatures climbing into the lower 70s once again under a mostly sunny sky, and then once again dropping into the mid-40s as we head into the overnight. A little more cloud cover for your Thursday, but overall another fantastic afternoon. Once again, temperatures climbing into the 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 ESPN. The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham on this Tuesday morning.
Tipsy Tuesday.
Took me a second, man. It took me a second. It is,
right.
But
Scott's got to remind himself every single time they come back, and then he also is like, I don't know.
We have a busy day. I know it's a shocker to you. We do have a busy day today because not only do you have Alabama baseball happening over at Toyota Field today as they are taking on UNA. You have that midweek game. The first pitch is going to be at 6 o'clock on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. At that exact same time, you also have the Havoc Hour taking place over at Zambruski's Tavern, where last few weeks, this thing has been slammed with fans, and they are starting to get there earlier and earlier and earlier. So right now, heck, I'm normally getting there at about 4:30. By 5 o'clock, there's already 5 or 6 fans that are just kind of hanging out at 5 o'clock. And if that kind of gives you an idea of how many fans eventually do show up to the Havoc Hour, that's why we always say, don't wait till 6 o'clock to get there. You're going to want to start getting there at like 5:30, 5:40, because as cool as Zambruski's Tavern is, it's not going to have the seating that everywhere else has. And so these tables get filled up because people get there, they'll save them, and next thing you know, they have all their friends there with them, and you don't have a table. So,
well, you make it out like it needs to be, a today thing, and I agree, like a time thing. I'm saying it's a today thing because we also just have maybe 1 or 2 more shows of this, depending on how long the playoffs go.
There are 1 or 2 that are scheduled.
Yes.
Let me emphasize that because we have this week and next week scheduled.
We're running low on the Havoc Hours, though.
But
they're at a premium.
But apparently during the game the other night, Glenn DeTulio kind of shared a message from his wife that she may be interested in sponsoring a few more throughout the playoffs. So just know.
I wonder what he meant by that.
Basically what it means is I'm pretty sure the way it sounded was that the Havoc Hour is going as long as the team is going.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's kind of the vibe.
Yeah, Stockton Mortgage.
And Stockton Mortgage and Jen DeTulio and all
very
of those.
much appreciate
yes. Yeah. She's the hardworking of the two DeTulios right now. I bust his shop so much for a guy that I've literally even just casually walked across twice. He and I have talked more on a microphone than we have ever talked in our lives.
Gotcha.
And it's always like whenever he's hanging up top with Steve and while I'm down on the ice. And so it's like, I always see like this little, silhouette of a man up there. And then I also look to the left and there's his banner. And then there he is. And then there's his banner. And then there he is. And so it's, I busted his chops about it a lot like that, but no, between Glenn and Jen DeTulio and all of those, like, just know there's only a few left.
Yeah.
And tonight is going to be a unique one. The only reason I say it's unique because there hasn't not been that many Havoc Hours that we have done where we're coming off not only just a loss, but the way that the team lost. And so I think that the coaches are going to have some more answers for a lot of the fans and a lot of the, let's just say the kick in the nuts, the way that it was over the past weekend and why it took place and all that. So I think we're going to have that, but also at the same time, I think that we're going to try to have some fun with this because we're also, by the time this starts, we'll be about 49 hours away from puck drop against the Bulls.
Nice.
So it's, this is going to be a quick turnaround, and we have the last 3 home games of the regular season ahead of us.
Sweet.
So it's going to be fun there. We're going to be paying attention. We're going to have the game up on the screens. We'll probably have the Alabama baseball game up on the screens as well. So make sure that you come down to Zambruski's Tavern. 6 o'clock is when we get started. All you got to do is just walk into the Iceplex, walk straight up the steps, go into either left door, right door, does not matter. You can go into rink 1, rink 2, go all the way to the back, and you'll be able to see us there.
Real quick shout out to Matthew, because apparently I think, his birthday is also 420, baby.
Wait a second.
His birthday's also 420. I
You
wonder
and
if
Matthew share birthdays?
I wonder if his X handle has 420 in the name as well.
No, because he's an adult.
And people misconstrue
they
it.
probably do. That's
Because
probably the reason why he doesn't.
Because they think some other things.
He may, for all of it, it may be like
Smoking that
Matt
ganja.
4 Herring 20. Maybe.
Could be. Would that be still better than mine?
Yes. See, I'm about
CPT cool.
Here's what's about to happen.
420.
In between the shows, I am going to make a new email address for you, and I am going to make you a new profile.
So I got plenty of them. I probably have 2 Twitters out there. All right. I don't know. I'm glad the other one's gone. I don't know what I was saying on that one.
It is. You know
bad,
what?
hopefully.
It is harder for you to make a decision on this than it is for the Titans to make a decision on who they're drafting number 1 overall.
Well, Joe, I'd rather make another TikTok.
Okay.
All right. If we're being straight up
Well, then make
honest.
another TikTok as well. Look, the whole idea of Cam Ward, that's one part. Here's the problem with the Travis Hunter thing. And I said we was going to mention this and I was going to hold off real quick. Here's my biggest issue. These linebackers, these safeties in the NFL hit way harder than what you see in college football. There may be 1 or 2 guys in college football that hit the same way as they do in the NFL. I say that because what happens if you get lit up over the middle at wide receiver and there's a turnover? What is the expectation of you if you're Travis Hunter? They're going to want you to go out and guard your man. And you're not going to be able to because you're not going to be able to breathe. And you may be out for 2 or 3 plays, and those are the 2 or 3 plays that the team that just knocked you out scores on. That's where the problem lies as far as him playing both wide receiver and cornerback, because everything that happens to him at wide receiver then can turn around and hurt him at cornerback. It wasn't like that in college. You don't have 3 or 4 wide receivers that could beat Travis Hunter in college on a team. You do in the NFL, and you need him at 100%.
Yeah.
That's why the focus may be at cornerback over wide receiver.
I totally agree on that, but who knows? We could see him go straight up DK Metcalf mode, and if the interception happens on the other side of the field, he'll go straight into cornerback mode and make the tackle. That's the one interesting thing that I'm looking forward to. But Joe, before I play the Stephen A. Smith clip, I do want to ask
Stephen A. Smith.
I do want to ask you.
Okay.
Have you ever watched Final Destination?
I watched probably the first 3.
Because you were talking about Napster, and whenever I think Napster, I think 2000s. Whenever I think 2000s, I think Final Destination.
Final Destination was when that movie came out. That's the one you took a girl to. Okay. Like, this is truth be told. You would always, new Final Destination, cool. Date night. New Paranormal Activity, fantastic. Date night. Those are the ones that you take to the movies because you know she gonna get so freaked out.
Yeah.
Okay.
She gonna give you a huggy. She gonna give you a hug.
Snuggie.
Oh,
She gonna be
wearing
like a snuggie.
snuggies
She gonna be
at
like
the
a
movies.
snuggie.
Hey,
That's
babe.
right. Yes.
Whip out that Cheeto snuggie because we go into the movies.
So
watching
yeah, Final Destination. Final Destination. Did you know that, by the way, Final Destination was actually only supposed to be like an X-Files episode?
No, I had no idea.
It was only supposed to be like an X-Files episode, but then they liked it so much that they expanded it into like a movie.
Well, they could do it, and they just kept doing it. And and now we're to the time where it's like, what more could Final Destination do? Because a lot of people used to get messed up about going on roller coasters because of Final Destination.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they don't want to even be behind log trucks. Still not even today.
Oh no, absolutely.
Because of Final Destination.
Right now, there is some female that is listening to us on 97.7. Yes, right, because a lot of females listen.
Yeah.
There's a female listening to us right now on
21%.
97.7. They will be pulling up to a red light right now and look to their right, and there'll be a log truck to their right, and they will instantly think of that one scene in Final Destination 2.
You going into the car wash? Oh, well, I'm thinking about that Final Destination scene where the sunroof is open.
That's the reason why I don't wash my car.
Oh, you want to watch a NASCAR race? You want to go live to a NASCAR race?
Yeah, I don't have to worry about this one.
He doesn't.
No, I don't have to worry about
This one's a little bit extra, but like the tire flying over the entire, arena or stadium and it hit somebody. I mean, it's still terrifying to think of the crash.
Out of everything, that's actually also the most probably accurate one that could happen.
Is the tire one?
Is the tire one?
It is, but it's not like the Denny Hamlin crash where he goes into the fence and like everything goes just. Oh well, it might have been Carl Edwards, but either way, he hits the fence. That was actually dangerous.
Yes,
but still,
it's still one of the more accurate ones. Like if you go to Dega, there is a true possibility of a wreck right at the start-finish line and a tire flies off. There is a true possibility.
You're not
of that.
wrong. You're not wrong. And okay, so the way that it was depicted was a little bit less serious. Okay, but regardless of that,
it's because there's a period of time that may be the case now because there's there's a bunch of these.
There is. There's 5 of them. There's Final Destination. Final Destination 2 came out in 2003. Final Destination 3, which is the one where they didn't want to get on the roller coaster, or when they did get on the roller.
Because
I'm forgetting
the screw started coming loose.
The Final Destination came out in 2009, and Final Destination 5 came out in 2011. What I remember from
Wasn't
a few
that
of
one
these,
3D?
I think so. And I think this was also the one where she's getting acupuncture and she falls off the table. That's just terrible to me. That's making me cringe. Or earlier on, I remember one where you get stuck in a tanning bed, which again,
that
a
one
little bit
also
crazy.
happened. But no, I made it to the one in 2006.
Okay.
After 2006, I was out.
Yeah, I don't think I watched past that either.
I think because it became more dumb than it became actually like realistic of,
oh, dude,
this could actually happen.
Dude, the escalator, the shoelace in the escalator, that whole thing was terrifying.
Yeah.
That was horrible. But they're coming out with a new one. All right. Final Destination Bloodlines. And the trailer.
Bloodline, like Acknowledge Me Bloodline, like Roman Reigns.
Bloodlines. One word.
Sweet. Okay.
We might
okay.
get
Wait,
Roman
is this a
Reigns.
wrestling pay-per-view?
No, it's not.
Dude, they're literally.
Is it?
No, it's not a wrestling pay-per-view.
Okay, I was about to say.
It actually kind of looks like the poster of it now, though. Looks like it's 1997 or 1998 Survivor Series, but outside of that, nope, it's different bloodline.
The late and great Tony Todd gonna be back for this one. Richmond Harmon is gonna be in this one.
How's a late great?
Oh, I think they filmed it before he passed.
Oh.
But
By the way, Tony Todd, you're talking about, if you don't know who Tony Todd is, can you emphasize that? Because his biggest movies that he was in, he was also in The Crow, which is probably wasn't one of his biggest ones.
You talk about The Crow, I'm thinking about Candyman.
But Candyman is his biggest one.
Yeah.
That's it. He's also, by the way, because I've heard this voice way too many times over the last 3 years, he is also the voice of Venom in Spider-Man 2.
Well, he's also in a lot of the DC animated films as well for Justice League. Not
amazing
100% sure.
voice. Amazing voice.
He's in 24. My mom used to love that show. As well as everything else. He was literally in everything else. He did not miss.
Yeah.
Not miss a movie.
So-
Night of the Living Dead, which was a good one too.
God, that was like 1970 something.
No, 1990.
Oh, it's the remake of that one. Okay, it was the remake.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the other one I think was in black and white or whatever like that. Either way, the first they gave like a 10-second clip yesterday, and I guess they're coming out with a new trailer today, which they might have already done it. It was of a restaurant, and somebody dropped the glass next to the sink and it shattered, got inside of the ice that was in the sink, and then the guy filled up the cup with the ice and a little bit of glass was in it. That was the scene, and already they're doing that thing where it's just like, well, now I don't want to go to a restaurant, or now I don't want to be behind a truck with a bunch of wooden logs. I want to know throughout this show, 256-576
or
97.7, what did Final Destination ruin for you? That's what I want to know. But either way, I do want to also play this clip.
NASCAR. See, it was the NASCAR scene. It ruined NASCAR for me.
That's what did it.
That's it right there.
That's
That
okay.
is what did it. I mean, actually, the real life wreck in 2001 is what did it. But at the same time, that is that's what did it.
No, okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith had this to say about college basketball.
Now to get to your question about in terms of why you've got mid-majors 0-6 in this NCAA tournament, no Cinderellas winning. NIL trade portal, here's what happens. Because there's money out there for the college athletes now, Megan, what happens is that if you are a program, even if you're a mid-major and there's somebody that's lower than you, you got more money to offer that athlete to come to your program. If you're a big-time program, you've got money. Oh, right, they don't have any money for you at this institution. We got about $250,000 for you from the trade, for the NIL, you can come over to us. So those individuals that had talent that were at mid-majors or lesser schools are having an opportunity to upgrade their stature in terms of the programs they get associated with, because those programs have money that the smaller programs don't have, NIL and beyond. And that is what has compromised it, because I just said today on First Take, my show on ESPN, I said, let me tell y'all something. If this continues, it's going to be the death of college basketball, because at this point, college basketball is all about March Madness. And if you can't look at a Cinderella, if you can't look at a team to come up, an engine that could, per se, if you don't have that, because athletes are departing from those programs to go to bigger programs, okay, then college basketball is going to cease to exist the way we know and love it as it pertains to March Madness.
That was on the Megyn Kelly show. I didn't want to get the first take version of his rant, but
Okay, so what do you think about what he said? 256-576-4977. We continue on the Blitz, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and WZZN TV is where you can get us here on this Tuesday afternoon / morning.
In the Army National Guard, soldiers serve part-time and close to home.
My community means everything to me. It helps shape me into who I am today, and is where I choose to raise my own family. That's why I joined the Army National Guard. I'm proud of where I'm from, and as a soldier, I get to give back to the people that helped me succeed. The education benefits I got from serving helped me get my degree and jumpstart my career. The training and leadership skills I've gained from the Army National Guard help me every day when I teach young people, help my neighbors, and look out for my community. I know that when my neighbors need us the most, my fellow soldiers and I will be ready. My family loves it here, and my part-time service means we get to stay here.
Serve part-time in the community you live in as a proud member of the Army National Guard. Talk to your local recruiter or visit nationalguard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Steve Moulton from 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and this is What's Happening. Be sure and download our app. Just search 977 ESPN in your Google Marketplace or your Apple Store, depending on your device, so you can take us wherever you might go. And you can also check out our latest zone deals. Head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. The top left banner reads, "Savings never tasted so good." Click on that, then enter in the big zone deals store for half-off zone deals of Lawler's Barbecue, Sea Salt, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bubby's Diner, Corlejos Mexican Grill, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Divergence, Full Moon Barbecue, Bigfoot Little Donuts, Hickory Store Barbecue, Good Company Cafe, Apple Lane Farms, the Decatur location, and rounds of golf at Cherokee Ridge Golf Course and Gunter's Landing. And that's what's happening.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. March Madness is here, and it's time to hoop it up at Baumhauer's Victory Grill with our Slam Dunk specials. It's nothing but net with a pound of our world-famous wings. Tip it off with our party-ready trays, including traditional wings, buttermilk fried chicken tenders, and hot lips, to name a few. Want a cold beer with those wings? How about $7.99 pitchers of Yingling served all day, 7 days a week? Break out those brackets and bring the gang to the best watch party place in town, Baumhauer's Victory Grill, the true king of wings.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of 12 world-famous theme parks, Orlando, Florida. With flights starting as low as just $49, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Orlando. Make all their dreams come true. Book nonstop to Orlando now at flybreeze.com.
Hello, listeners. I want to tell you a little bit about Minuteman Press and what we have to offer our community. We specialize in paper printing and can help from designing your piece to the finished product. We print media guides for many of the athletic departments at high schools and universities around the area. We typically purchase sponsorships from these schools as well, try and help them with their fundraising. Once we have reached our new normal, we also print all types of marketing materials for you to hand out either in person, via mail, or at various trade shows and events. At Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
Two 56576-4977. John vibing over there.
So I was thinking about people rolling out of March Madness because they don't care anymore.
There's a lot of people, actually. You can roll out the Baumhauers here in about an hour and a half. That's where Tom is going to be broadcasting his show. He's found out that he has one. And so he is back. And then coming up this afternoon at 5, before we give it over to Alabama baseball against UNA over at Toyota Field, you're going to have the drive live from Full Moon Barbecue.
Yummy.
So before the break, though, you brought something up with Stephen A. Smith. And I was sitting and asking, first off, when did this interview happen?
So I believe this one was actually just last night.
Okay.
Just yesterday.
The reason why I ask it is because I remember us talking about this during Tom's show yesterday a little bit. And I'm just going, wait a second. I thought that we had discussed.
We touched on it.
Because it was because what I kept just saying is that it's about the depth of these teams now and the depth of your big name schools versus your mid majors now. But Stephen A. Smith was on with Megyn Kelly talking about NIL, the NCAA tournament, March Madness, all this stuff. And if you missed what he had to say, here is what he had to say about it. Just one more time, if you could play that for us to talk about it so that people can hear this one more time before we go to the phone lines here in just a bit at 256-576-977. Here's Stephen A. Smith on the Megyn Kelly Show.
Do. Now to get to your question about in terms of why you've got mid-majors 0-6 in this NCAA tournament, no Cinderellas winning. NIL trade portal, here's what happens. Because there's money out there for the college athletes now, Megan, what happens is that if you are a program, even if you're a mid-major and there's somebody that's lower than you, you got more money to offer that athlete to come to your program. If you're a big-time program, you got money. Oh, right, they don't have any money for you at this institution. We got about $250,000 for you from the trade, for the NIL, you can come over to us. So those individuals that had talent that were at mid-majors or lesser schools are having an opportunity to upgrade their stature in terms of the programs they get associated with, because those programs have money that the smaller programs don't have, NIL and beyond. And that is what has compromised it, because I just said today on First Take, my show on ESPN, I said, let me tell y'all something. If this continues, it's going to be the death of college basketball, because at this point, college basketball is all about March Madness. And if you can't look at a Cinderella, if you can't look at a team on the come up engine that could, per se, if you don't have that, because athletes are departing from those programs to go to bigger programs, okay, then college basketball is going to cease to exist the way we know and love it as it pertains to March Madness.
Now, take it with a grain of salt, because I don't know if Megyn Kelly has watched any basketball, but that's not the point. It's the point is, well, how much do the Cinderellas matter? Because I felt like this, he's right about one thing. College basketball doesn't matter unless it's March Madness. And I say that the numbers, they peak. It's everything that everybody's caring about whenever March Madness starts. Whenever the season's going on, Joe, until this year, I haven't really focused too much.
There are certain sports that just have their time periods.
Exactly.
Okay, like as much as we talk about the Huntsville Havoc, we're not sitting and breaking down every single NHL game that's taking place. Now, once we start talking about the NHL playoffs, that's a little bit different. Okay, and especially once you start talking about the Stanley Cup Finals and stuff, NBA is kind of very similar, where the focus isn't really on the NBA until the actual playoffs has started that way.
I wait until it's over, actually.
Well, and depending on the teams and all that sort of thing, again, my team has sucked for years, so I can't really say anything. But for March Madness in college basketball, nobody, as far as the casual and majority of fans are concerned, pay attention to college basketball. Now, look, and I will say it to you this way, okay, because Huntsville, every single market is different. Huntsville is different than Birmingham. Birmingham is different than Montgomery. Montgomery is different than Mobile. Like, everybody's always different. But when it comes to the pecking order of stuff, an Alabama basketball game in the middle of February against Alabama offensive coordinator search and names of people that are actually in Tuscaloosa, you know which one's going to take priority and which one more people will want to talk about, even if Alabama's a top 5 team in the country. Look, we had parts and times throughout this season that Alabama and Auburn were both ranked in the top 5. They would play the previous night and nobody would want to talk about it. Like, it's just part of what it is. because it's all about the tournament. We start talking about it more going into the SEC tournament. And then once we got into March Madness, then you start talking about the matchups, what's good, what's bad, what's going to be beneficial for each team, so forth and so forth. The other thing, though, is the casual fan that does put together a bracket, and they do want to see your St. Mary's, which they would think would be a Cinderella team, because obviously the name is not one of your traditional blue bloods. You start talking about your UNC Wilmingtons, your VCUs, you start talking about UMBC and those types of teams. Like, they want to see those guys, the guys that are playing in an arena the size of Spraggins Hall every single night. And then they turn around and now they're playing at the United Center in Chicago against, a said team that has 4 players on their roster that's about to make over $100 million combined the very next season. And they're on the same court and they're able to play with them. Like, that's the appeal of college basketball. The problem is that, yes, NIL has hurt college basketball probably more than it's hurt college football. But our focus was so much on college football with NIL of, is he going to be worrying now about what type of rims he's got on his car? Is he going to be worrying about the cover too? Like, we started talking about that when really we knew that teams were going to be affected. The only thing is we focused on the oval football and not the one that was round.
Mind you, transfer portal did open today for college basketball as well. So that is also something to take into account.
And so what's happened is, if you have a good player that is on a mid-major, high D2 team, you are going to see them think about going to the next level. As much as we hate Nova around Huntsville right now, because of it, as much as we hate them, the moment that they get to Evansville, which, remember, Evansville's coming here this weekend, there's a reason. And so the moment that all takes place, they know that as they're stepping on the court, there are D1 basketball coaches that are watching these games. There are D1 basketball coaches that are in the arena in Evansville that are watching it. I saw this exact same thing earlier in the school year for 7th and 8th graders that were about to go to high school, and high school coaches watching them because they wanted to figure out who and what they could potentially talk to get them into their school district and to get them into their school. So, yes, the whole mid-major thing is a stepping stone. How many times, as I'm sitting here and I'm talking about Huntsville High School, when we were going through and doing all these Huntsville High School basketball games, and we were talking about all the talent on the team, and I kept saying, well, Eli over there, he's playing at Lee, but I think he's a D1 talent. I could see him transfer out. That's exactly what college basketball is in 2025. That's what it is in 2026. You're going to use one of these schools as a stepping stone school, and you're going to say, go into the NCAA tournament and March Madness and ball out and score 25 points and make 5 threes. And then you're going to have all these D1 programs that were sitting there watching you because they're watching the tournament, see you enter the transfer portal and be like, so what's up? That's what college basketball is. The biggest difference between mid-majors and the Power 4, Power 5, Power 3, whatever it is that you're wanting to call it now, is the depth of the teams, because you may have your 5 starters that can go up against your Alabamas, against your Kentuckys, against your Ole Misses. But what you don't have is 6 through 10 that can also do it. Because go look at St. Mary's roster right now. Go look at how many players they actually played against Alabama. They played 7, and really they only played 6. So they had like 4 or 5 guys that are sitting on the bench right now, never broke a sweat, never took their shirt off, never did anything because they weren't good enough to get on the court, and because the coach knew that they couldn't put him in the rotation because he doesn't have the depth. That's what mid-major basketball is in 2025.
Well, it's not too different, I guess, from the footballs, because, I mean, look at what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. Cam Ward, where did he start his college career?
Was it I almost say I keep wanting to say Houston for him, and I know it's not right.
Nah, it was
Is it Boise State?
It was UIW. There was the Cardinals.
Holy mess! See, I don't even think about
the
that.
Incarnate Ward or whatever their names
Oh
are.
yeah, Incarnate.
I don't know how to
Ward
say it.
Incarnate or whatever. No,
I don't
Incarnate,
know.
whatever. But yeah, no, like Cam Ward. Look at him, and now look at what he's doing. He showed out at the pro day, which is what he's supposed to do, and he literally was looking at the coaches from other teams, going, "Here I am.
Yeah.
Are you going to draft me or not? Like, that's your fault." 256-576-977. Josh, welcome in to the Blitz. How's it going?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's up, man?
Oh man, I just wanted to talk about basketball. I don't think it's the death of basketball. I mean, me personally, you got a possibility of 6 out of 8 teams out of the SEC that could possibly get into the Elite 8. To me, it just seems like maybe it's shifting, but I don't think it's the death of college basketball. I mean, I think everybody's still tuning in. Everybody's still watching. I'm watching. More SEC teams are in it, so I'm watching a whole lot more, actually. But, I mean, I don't think it's the death of college basketball. Like you said about the Cinderellas, I mean, yes, it's a feel-good story, but nobody ever makes it to the finals that's a Cinderella. They always get kicked out in the Elite 8 or Final 4. No one ever makes it to the finals or the championship and wins it. It's always a powerhouse.
You're not
You
wrong.
know,
You're
so
not wrong.
what's the big deal?
I feel like just because it's littered in between the March Madness that it makes for interesting storylines. Because right now, I mean, what would you say the biggest storyline is for March Madness?
Probably between Colorado State and Maryland the other night. I mean, if it wasn't for that bank shot at the last second, you know, you got a 10 seed in there. So, I mean, technically you could consider that a Cinderella team.
Yeah, so like that's where I'm going with it, because when you think of the past years, you get some of those bigger storylines. For this year, I would say there's 2. And obviously, you're going to get that last second shot from Maryland, but at the same time, the SEC. But here's the thing. I already saw all I needed to see from the SEC in Nashville. So when I see it kind of over here in this bigger bracket, the only other thing is how do they perform against these opposing teams? That's awesome. That's great. But it still doesn't feel like the March Madness that we've loved in the past. It feels like a totally different tournament.
It's more about your Butlers, your Gonzagas, your you could even possibly even throw in like maybe a Xavier, like those types of schools that, again, they're not a powerhouse football school, but they are going to be somebody that in March, they're at least in the Sweet 16, the Elite 8. You can, Marquette's, like those types of places, which they still may, like Villanova.
Still upset Memphis lost to Colorado State.
Those types of teams that we're at least talking about them into the second weekend. I don't, like, again, Butler's a totally different animal, because what Butler did in the early 2010s is something that was just absolutely wild to be able to see them not just make it to the Final Four, but also literally be a shot within trying to win a national championship. Like that was definitely something different and special that I think more people should acknowledge about how special it was. But
absolutely. And they did it back-to-back years.
Yes.
So, I mean, yeah, that is something you might not see as much, but I mean, I don't know. For me personally, I'm still tuned in just as much, because just like you said, the regular season, there's a couple games we all watched the 1-2 Alabama-Auburn game. But now that the tournament's here, this is when I want to see.
Okay.
This is what I want to watch.
Well, Josh, we appreciate you listening and watching. I don't want to.
Hey, guys, y'all know I love y'all, man. Love the show as always.
Hey, thanks, bro. We appreciate it, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, I that's the thing. I don't want to push anybody away from the March Madness. I just want to create the discussion that has been the biggest talking point. It really has been. I
think that the part with March Madness that is the sexiness of it is the possibility of David being able to beat Goliath.
And this is just like, this is a 1 year thing. This is the first time that we're really seeing this. And now
I look back at last year's.
Yeah.
Like last year, if you talk about the quote unquote Cinderella team was probably, I mean, yes, NC State was an 11 seed, but they weren't considered your Cinderella. Like you would have actually put more of like San Diego State in there as that, and they were a 5 seed. But like I've even went all the way back to like say 2017, and you're looking for that quote unquote Cinderella. Like Xavier might be a quote unquote Cinderella.
So what was it 2 years ago? Purdue losing in the first round, like that one right there. That was, and that's just 2 years ago. And I don't remember the team. I know they had a really cool gym. They had this one white boy that was like balling out. It always seems like that's the case. But like
you're talking about like Fairleigh Dickinson or
Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah, Fairleigh Dickinson.
This is only 2 years ago. So there's a lot of people discussing, oh, the NIL has done this. 2 years ago, we still had the transfer portal. We still had the NIL. Now it wasn't as prominent. You didn't have thousands of people jumping in it right whenever it opens, but regardless, there was still a sense of that last year with NC State. You can go even farther with San Diego State the year prior, but I don't think we're fully out of the Cinderella stories. I just think people want to overreact to it. And I can even include myself on that because, I mean, this is the storyline. This is what we talk about. We talk about March Madness. People are talking about everything from the games all the way down to, the SEC having all of these teams in. But at the end of the day, taking a bigger view of the tournament is something that I personally like to do.
So, in the conference that Dickinson was from is the one that St. Francis, PA played was their representative this year. It was the NES, which is like the Northeast.
I like the NES.
Yeah. No, not the Nintendo NES.
What was your favorite game on it?
God, my son actually was playing Ninja Turtles last night from it.
Castlevania.
Yeah, we were playing Ninja Turtles from it, and I swear, I don't know. This is a personal message to whichever person developed that stupid underwater level.
It's always the underwater
where
level.
You've got like all the electric eels or whatever it is like coming out. Oh no, I hate you with a passion. I hope right now every day you wake up and you get shocked the same way that you do to those turtles in that one. I don't know what happens after that game after that. I don't think I ever beat that level. That's like the 5th level. Never beaten it. Have no idea.
Dude, I hate water worlds.
I seriously
They're the worst.
hate it whatsoever. But my son was like, hey, Dad, because, again, Daddy knows how to play all the video games because he's been around since they were all started.
Apparently.
And so he's like, hey, I need help with this. And so sure enough, he walks in and what do I see? Little Raphael swimming. And I'm like, nope, playing a different game. Not doing this.
Down.
I still can't beat that level. I've been trying to beat that level for over 30 years now, and I still cannot beat that stupid level.
Joe, are you for real right now?
Yes, I still can't beat that level. I don't know what happens afterwards. I don't. I have no idea.
How many men do we need to get on, men or women that are gamers, do we need to get on this level to beat it for you?
No, I don't want anybody to beat it for me. I want to beat it myself. I want to beat it myself. Okay. It is up to me.
Stream it.
No, because you know what it'll be? It'll be 2 hours of me watching the little turtle go and then just die. And his little shell goes away. And next thing you know, let me go get Raph. Here's Raph just swimming. And then there goes his shell and he's dead too. I'm doing nothing but killing turtles, man.
We should do a gauntlet of the worst water level games. And that can include the Tomb Raider level from 2000 or from 1997. It can also include Conker's Bad Fur Day. I believe it was like that was 2001. We could go all the way down the list. We could get a gauntlet going. Super Mario 3, they had I think it was like World 7 had a water level. All the way down to like Legend of Zelda. And I see exactly what you're talking about. There's a 1989 game.
Yeah.
Dam level. That was the name of the
yes,
level.
because you literally are on top of the dam and you walk off of it and you dive into the water. I have no clue what happens after that.
And
I have no idea.
You say damn a lot because damn, that looks rough.
Yeah. Stupid, like you got to go and you got to undo the bomb. It's like seaweed. It's so annoying.
Are you not allowed to touch the seaweed?
No, you can't touch the seaweed.
What?
You can't touch the seaweed because the seaweed shocks you. So what you have to do is you got to make sure that you've got all your turtles with all their full life. And you're just going to continue to swap back and forth through all these turtles. And you're going, and it still doesn't help.
Dude.
It still doesn't help.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Water Temple.
I promise you, if you pulled up that music from that game right there in that level, there would be, I promise you, 30 to 40-year-olds start having PTSD when we wrap up the show.
Well, I hope that
256. Well, no, do it when we
I hope
come back.
that doesn't happen while they're driving down the road. They just get like PTSD and
256-576.
Water level.
No.
4977
as we wrap up the Blitz when we come back. 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at SensaGreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Everything you need is just a click away.
I screw up sometimes, silly.
Okay, almost everything.
Come on, I'll tell you a fortune.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. 977 ESPN, The Zone.
Psych. Got him. Yeah, get that. Watch out. Watch out, you get sapped.
It's annoying. It is annoying. Stupid turtles.
Yeah, moved on a level. Oh, they're getting into the electric seaweed.
This electric seaweed is what it was. And it's so annoying. And I truly believe the level's impossible. I don't think there is a level after this. I don't believe that there is.
They're just like, golly, crunch time. Let's just impossible level. Don't do the rest of the game.
Absolutely. You want to prove your dedication to us? You beat this level. 30 years later, nobody knows what happens after this level.
Let us know if you finished that level. 256-576-977. Dedication's one thing, Joe. But the people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration know a thing or two about dedication, and they are the people you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up.
Also, congratulations to the one man that continues to pick up awards over at UAH. And that is one Tommy Murr, as he was just named to the D2 All-American list. That just dropped a little while ago. And yes, he was on it. And so congratulations to him for picking that up. He was awesome. He was actually at the game with us on Friday night. He was up there sitting with Steve, and so it was awesome to see him up there after they got back from Fort Lauderdale, and so congratulations to him for picking up that award.
Very nice, Joe. A few other things that we can hop into today.
And we only got like 30 seconds.
I know. There's maybe one thing we could talk about today. Remember, like Michigan at the beginning of the off season, they got this quarterback and Bryce Underwood. And they were like, "Oh, we'll just pay him. What is it, like 8 figures? He's getting like 13.
Yeah, that's how they got him.
$12 million or something like that.
That's ended up how they got him.
Yeah,
is because they put out a very lucrative NIL deal.
Yeah, so you'd think like that would be the biggest storyline centered around Michigan. He's now playing a little bit. He's on the field, of course, spring practice. See how he's doing against the 5th-year senior and Mikey Keene. Who's coming over from UCF as well as Fresno State, which I feel like every transfer quarterback comes over from those two schools. But this is a dude that started like 39 football games. And again, he's a 5th-year senior. One of the few of those that's going to be around going forward in college football. But you'd be wrong if that was the story that Michigan would be talking about right now, because we got some other interesting news going on as Michigan's Matt Weiss, who is the offensive coordinator, faces a class action over alleged cyber crimes. That's right. Man got like 24 criminal counts from allegedly unauthorized access to computers and aggravated identity theft. What the hell's going on in Ann Arbor, Joe?
No, and so what's crazy about this is he is up for all of this, and for what people are wondering, like, what the heck is he doing? So this has nothing to do with like he's trying to hack into a player's computer so that he can actually like get plays or anything like this.
That's what I thought.
No. This is actually what much worse than this is because he's actually been using his computer to hack into females' computers and get pictures from their computers and or phones and everything else.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly
on that. And so that's what he's been doing, where part of the deal, because he did place bond, is that he has had to hand over like his laptops and all of his computers and stuff. And so the government put like a monitoring system on his computer to see and to make sure that he doesn't like continue to do this while he's out before his court case actually happens. So this wasn't like he was trying to sit there and go like, all right, let me see if I can get Ohio State's playbooks by hacking into Ryan Day's computer and seeing if like he's got it saved in like an email somewhere where it just says 2025 playbook. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
You can't delete your history with the FBI is on it.
No,
that's
no.
for damn
And so,
sure.
and so what he's doing is he's actually like basically being a perv and trying to get all of these girls' pictures from their phones and stuff.
Maybe Connor Stallions wasn't that bad after all.
You think? Do you really think like stealing signs is worse than what this guy's doing? It's the whole state of
Golly.
Michigan, man. I don't understand what it is when it comes to the Michigan State. Michigan State needs to be wiped off the face of the earth. But as far as Michigan is concerned, like the whole Connor Stallions thing is nothing compared to this stuff.
No.
Now, the Stallion stuff is going to get a lot more press because it has to do with football and and America's fascination with it, which is totally, I get that part. But this dude is a scumbag.
Allegedly.
Okay, I can still say he's a scumbag, even if it isn't,
Exactly.
even if
Yeah,
he's found innocent.
Yeah.
Like, that is a scumbag move.
But who was it at the beginning of the year? I believe it was Florida, their head coach. He also allegedly he got involved with some stuff. Apparently, it was all kind of false. It was all dropped. It wasn't a big deal. But that was also something that popped up for Todd Golden. None of it was true. So it's like, again, that's why I like to throw out the allegedly.
Absolutely.
Because this does happen sometimes. But yeah, for the time being, all right, Matt Weiss is a scumbag, yes.
And yes, and before we get out of here, I'm going to at least acknowledge the fact that Hugh Freeze held a press conference a little while ago for spring practice. I'm going to at least acknowledge it. Hey, it happened.
Yeah.
Again, I don't believe a word that ever comes out of the man's mouth, but I'm still going to acknowledge it. Hey, this happened. We are not totally oblivious to what has happened, but the only time that I ignore Hugh Freeze is the times that he opens his mouth. Like, though, that's it. So just saying, yes, we know that there was a press conference that took place with Hugh Freeze.
Yep.
It was just blah, 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 blah.
We just wanted to let you know that he did say
absolutely
blah, blah.
Blah, blah. How much time do we have?
We got about a minute. I do want to run down again. Remember zone deals. We got Blue Oak Barbecue.
See, I had something else, man. It's okay. Keep going.
I just slipped that one out. What else you got?
No. Keep going.
Because I don't know if we got enough time
No, now
for
we
your
don't. Now we
talking
definitely
rants.
don't.
All right,
Absolutely.
Alabama baseball gonna be live at Toyota Field. If you can't go there, then you can listen on 97.7 ESPN The Zone starting at 5:45 p.m. On top of that, right after it starts, head over to WZZN TV. We're gonna be completely live. Because it is the Havoc Hour.
The Havoc Hour.
Coming to you from the Huntsville Iceplex, as well as Zambruski's Tavern, where you will get a deal on the beers, which I might partake even on the job.
What this is going to be eventually known as the center building of the Huntsville Iceplex because of all the renovations and additions that they are about to add to the facilities over there with that news that came out a couple of weeks ago. So, yes, tonight, 6 o'clock, Zambruski's Tavern, Havoc Hour. We're going to be joined by a coach, couple of players, and you, where you can come by, get pictures, autographs, and also get a little deal on drinks. We will see you tonight at 6.
Have you discovered Good Company Cafe? The place for breakfast, brunch, lunch, and so much more. Enjoy brunch all day and pair with one of our many seasonal refreshing drinks, including alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. Choose inside or outside on our gorgeous, spacious, dog-friendly patio and have some fun with friends playing yard games in the courtyard. See catering, to-go options, and lots more at goodcompany-cafe.com. Good Company Cafe, 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
You can now do more without it costing you more. Alabama's attractions have come together to offer the all-in-one ticket that downloads to your mobile device. No matter how many attractions listed on the ticket you see during the time span you bought, your price stays the same. Pick the right ticket option that best fits your schedule, and then enjoy more attractions without spending more. All-in-one tickets for different areas of Alabama are available at alabama.travel and other places where online tickets are sold. Brought to you by Alabama Tourism Department, the ABA, and this station.
Hey, brother. Saw you call.
John, I've been thinking about our days